What's up, everybody? My name is Rohan. I'm currently a second year, fourth semester medical student. And today, in this video, I will be telling you guys what I believe to be the best nighttime routine for exams the next day. Now, there's a lot of variations on this. Everyone's is a little different. Everyone does things a little differently than I do. But this is what works for me, and I hope that this can be what works for you if you let this kind of seep in and you take what I'm saying to your heart and to your brain. Maybe you can watch yourself excel in the next couple of exams in your school. Now, I want to preface this by saying this can be used in all levels of school. If you're in middle school, if you're in high school, if you're in college, if you're in grad school, even if you're in medical school like me, if you're in law school, if you're in engineering school, if you're in anything, any trade school, anything with exams, this advice will definitely work for you, because in the end, it's kind of a universal thing. It's kind of a universal way of preparing yourself and way of doing things, right? So the number one thing I want to say, definitely prioritize your sleep the night before the exam. It is so important to keep your mind fresh and keep your body relaxed. And the way you do that is by sleeping enough before the exam. One thing, a lot of people before exams, they will cram. And I'm not saying that's the most evil thing to do or that I've never done that, because God knows I have crammed all throughout high school. I've done that many times throughout high school, a couple times throughout college. I don't really do it as much in medical school because it's a very different environment. You have to be studying every day, to be honest, to even make it through. You have to study a lot every day. But cramming is honestly very counterintuitive. I will say, if you need to cram, do it. But for the most part, cramming can do more harm than good. And the reason I say that is because it just increases your anxiety, your stress levels. It decreases the amount of sleep you get. You feel like you don't know anything, so you lose confidence in your ability to take the exam. That's what cramming will do. And God knows I know, because that's been me many times in school. But I will tell you, if you can just build up the habit of studying every day, just a little bit every day, it will pay dividends in the future. I'm telling you straight up, it will absolutely pay dividends. But how should you kind of do this? How does this work? How do you prioritize sleep, right? So make sure to sleep early and try sleeping at the same times every day, the days leading up to the exam. So for example, I'm extreme. I'll tell you this straight. I am very extreme, but it's the only way that I'm able to do YouTube and school and exercise and club stuff all at the same time. It's very difficult to manage all of this. So if you're thinking maybe I don't have much credibility, there's my credibility. I've done all of these things. I've managed all of these things at once in a fast-paced medical school. I'm telling you that I have the experience. I have some knowledge of how to do this. And I'm extreme, very extreme. I go to bed at 9 to 9:15 every night. I try to wake up at 5:30 to 6:30 every day. Today I woke up on the later at 6:30. But I try to do that every day. Obviously, I have my phases and my dips, right? We're not machines. No one is perfectly perfect where they wake up every day at the same time, they go sleep at the same time, they're perfect on their diet, they exercise all the time, they're on top of everything all the time. No one is like that. You go through waves of it. But I've been through the waves where I'm on the low, where I'm less productive, I don't do much during the day, then I'm on high, I do everything throughout the day, it feels like. But you want to make sure you prioritize sleep and you sleep at around the same times every night. That's kind of how you cement this habit. And if you can do that before the exam, even just a week before an exam or a couple days before an exam, that will pay dividends. Now, this is not something you need to worry about if you're in medical school, or if you're in high school, or if you're in middle school, because you wake up at the same time anyway, and every day. You go to school at the same time anyway, every day. So it's not a big deal for you. But people who are in college and medical school, like my brother's in college right now, I'm in medical school, I try to tell him, before your exams, wake up when you need to wake up for the couple of days leading up to it, because that will pay dividends. That'd be so good for you. It's also nice to have this routine, because it makes you feel productive, makes you feel kind of in charge of your own life. I want to say, one way to manage and prioritize and implement have good sleep habit is to decrease the amount of screen time you have before bed. Now, this could be a lot of things. If it depends on the type of person you are. If you're the type of person, like for example, I'll give you my example first. When I'm on a little more of a less grindy mindset, and I'm more so just allowing myself to use my phone when I'm in bed, which I don't normally do. I normally don't allow myself to use my phone when I'm trying to fall asleep because like I said, literally as I'm saying, the screen time, the blue light, it messes with your sleep habits. But sometimes, every once in a while, like I said, I'm not perfect. I will bring out my phone and I'll listen to music. I don't really watch YouTube. Sometimes I'll watch a TV show actually, but I'll listen to music. I'll watch a TV show with the blue light on, and that will keep me up for way longer than I usually am up. Like, even though I could try to go to bed around 9 every day, I do fall asleep. It sometimes takes me 10:30, 11. Sometimes I'm laying there for a little while. But it's a nice time to kind of be one with your thoughts and kind of think about your day. It's nice to kind of take a step back and think, this was my day, so what I want tomorrow to be. This is kind of how things go. I want things to go. So try to reduce the amount of screen time you have. For example, some person might not even be in bed, but they might just be on their phone, on their laptop, watching anime, or watching a TV show, watching a movie, watching a K-drama, watching anything, while they're just right before they go to bed, and then they go to bed 10 minutes later, 20 minutes later, 2 hours later. It doesn't matter. I'm not here to criticize you. We've all been there. We've all done that. But what I'm saying is, when you have a big exam coming up, you need to prioritize that exam. Prioritize your school, because that's what's really going to take you far in life. School, effort, hard work, consistency, discipline, determination. There's just a couple of the main things I can say that do that. The next thing I want to say, the night before the exam, even just the day before the exam and the day of the exam, try to eat as nutritious meals as you can. Now, this video is mostly about nighttime routine, but I want to talk about just the day leading up to the exam in general, because I think it's so important for all these things to be mentioned. So I'm kind of changing the tone of the video a little bit. Nutrition is so important. Again, no one is perfect. I've gone through phases where sometimes I just eat chocolate for lunch. Like that's what I do sometimes. I just eat chocolate for lunch. Other days sometimes I won't eat much dinner. I'll just have a bag of chips and some ice cream. Like that's totally normal. That happens to everybody. Everybody has like moments like that. But the days leading up to the exam, try to be as disciplined and as on top of this as you can, because this will lead to better performance the day of the exam. So try to eat nutritious meals. I'm talking good protein levels so you stay satiated, decent amount of carbs. If you've watched my other videos, you know sometimes I don't eat carbs because I like myself in ketosis. I'm currently in ketosis right now, but sometimes you like yourself in ketosis because you feel more alert, your mind is moving faster and moving more sharply. So if that's the case with you, do that. I like doing that, so that's why I'm in ketosis right now. But for most people, I will say there's no evidence to even back that ketosis makes you perform better in school at all. It's just a lifestyle, personal choice that I like to have. I like myself in ketosis better. I like myself not in ketosis. But like I said, sometimes you just eat a bunch of carbs. Sometimes do whatever you want, because you're on break, or you're in a slower period, or you're in a period where you just want to relax. That's fine. That's totally normal. But the day before the exam, and even the day of the exam, and the days leading up to the exam, try to eat as nutritionally as possible. I'm talking high protein, decent amount of carbs, not too much fat, because you don't want to weigh yourself down. And this is a big one: high fiber. I have talked to my friends about this in medical school before, even like a couple semesters ago. This semester, because we're learning about nutrition in this semester. This semester is gastroenterology and nutrition, GI tract and nutrition. And so we talk a lot about fiber, and fiber is so important to keep your bowels moving, to keep your stomach satiated. So try to eat some fiber if you can. This comes in vegetables, this can come in oatmeal, this can come in fruits, this can come in a lot of different ways. Beans, a lot of things have fiber in it. So whatever you want to do to hit that fiber intake, try it, because I'm telling you, it will make you feel a lot better. And you also want to make sure to drink plenty of water. Speaking of, I should have water. I'm a hypocrite. I should have water on my side right now, but I don't have it. This cup is actually empty. But I wish I had water, because I'd be drinking it right now. yeah, drink plenty of water, man. It's so important for your body because your body is mostly water, so you need that water to replenish you. Especially if you go to the bathroom a lot, like I do. I am constantly going to the bathroom, removing water. So you want to re-intake that water. Um, as I talked about sleep consistency before exam and food consistency before exam, you just want consistency in general. Now, this is more so the nighttime routine I'm talking about. You want to have a consistent sleep cycle, food cycle, but also self-care cycle. Every night before you go to bed, you want to try to establish brushing your teeth every day, every night and every morning. Sometimes you'll do mouthwash. Sometimes you'll floss. That's what I don't know if you can even see back there. There's like a thing blocking the camera. I can't tell if you can see back there, but I have like mouthwash. I have toothbrush, toothpaste, floss, everything. I don't do all of them every day, but I try to do them as much as I can if I remember. But you want to do the same things every day. You want to. For example, I take a bunch of supplements. I take zinc, vitamin D3, biotin, and I take ashwagandha as well. If I take one more thing, I think it's a Zyrtec. I take a Zyrtec because I have allergies. If you can't tell, I'm even congested right now. But I take my supplements every night. I do my hair care. I make sure I wash my hair. Well, I don't like wash it with shampoo very much, but I make sure I take care of my hair. I put things in it to keep it kind of, to keep it healthy. Sometimes I put some oils in it. Sometimes I even put some Rogaine in it because I think Rogaine is a really good tool to have for young men, because all of us have kind of pattern balding. It's very normal for young men. Don't be ashamed of it. It's very natural, very normal. So I'll put Rogaine in my hair to keep my hair thicker, to keep it more growing, because it's just good for your hair in general. I'm a medical student and I know this. We learned a little bit about Rogaine. It's actually a blood pressure medication that turned into a hair care supplement medication because it had those effects. It had the effects of hair growth. It promotes hair growth. If you exercise normally, keep doing it before the exam. You don't want to stop abruptly before the exam. You want to keep your routine going, keep your habits going. And last thing I want to say, you want to make sure to pre-pack your school bag before you go. You want to make sure that you put your laptop or your iPad, whatever you need whatever you take the exam on, put it in there. If you're in like high school, get your pencils, get your papers, put it in your notebook, put it in there. Your pens, put it in there. Your charger, put it in there. Anything you use normally for school, put those in there because you're gonna need them tomorrow. And it reduces decision fatigue because you don't have to think so much about what am I gonna do, what am I gonna do, what am I gonna do this, what am I gonna do that, what am I gonna do? No, you're just like, okay, I do this. This is what I do. I have it tomorrow. This time I wake up. This time I get my bag. This time I go to the bus. This time I do this. That's it. Simple. You don't need to overthink it. Because decision fatigue is actually a huge thing that I think is honestly under talked about. I think decision fatigue can really ruin your performance on exam because you're thinking about so many other things that when you go into the exam, you're tired, you're drained, you don't have time to, you can't put all your brain power in what you're doing right now. So, and if you can reduce as much decision fatigue as you can, do that. And the way you do that, pack your bag. This video was about what's the best nighttime routine. So now I'm going to tell you my nighttime routine. I try I can actually pull it up right now. I have a schedule. I'm using my phone to do this. But I have a schedule. Every day I try to wake up at the same time and go to bed at the same time. But depending on what the day is, like some days I have a lot of school. Some days I have less school, so I do more Anki cards. Some days I'm on break. When I'm on break, I have a completely different schedule. But I have my schedule I have a schedule legitimately, and I put it, it's actually my lock screen on my phone. So when I lock my phone, I can turn on, I can see my schedule, and I can be like, okay, yeah, it's time to do this now. It's time to do that now. I am going over my time for YouTube right now, but I think this is such a valuable thing to talk about, valuable thing to put in the world that I don't care. I'll make up the time later today by doing 15 more minutes of Anki or something when I really should be actually it's a rest day today because it's Sunday, so I won't be going to the gym. So I have that extra hour and a half in my schedule to just focus on school more if I want to, which I will because I need to make up for this. But so that's beside the point. What I do, around 6:45 to 7 o'clock to 7:30, I get home and I make food. And usually this is chicken or like beef, or that's usually mostly what it is. Sometimes I'll make fish, salmon. I found that I had a really weird reaction to tilapia, frozen tilapia, when I cooked it. I like started to get hives and I started to get wheezing, which indicates an allergic reaction. I don't know what that was about because I've never been allergic to fish before. I love fish. I hope it was just that one patch of tilapia. I hope I'm not allergic to tilapia forever. I don't think that makes sense. Sometimes you can get allergies late onset in your 20s, but I don't think that was the case. I think it was just the way it was prepared or something just got me. But around 7:30, that's when I finish eating, and I hope to finish my shower after that, because usually I'm coming back from the gym. So I hope to cook, put it in the air fryer, take a shower, get out of the shower, dry myself, put clothes on, then go get my stuff out of the air fryer, because it usually doesn't finish yet, but it'll finish like within 10 minutes, and then I take it out, eat, and then it's hopefully around 7:30. Then from 7:30 to 8 o'clock, I call my parents, because I call my parents almost every day, because sometimes I'll call my brother too, or my other family, my cousins too, because they kind of keep me grounded. I care about my family a lot. I'm a very family-oriented person, so the fact that I can do that for them is just super. I'm so grateful that I can call them. I'm in a time where I can talk to them every day. I'm in that sort of time in society. If I was born 30 years earlier, we wouldn't have any phones. I wouldn't be able to call my parents every day. My life would be probably pretty different. But that's what I'm saying. I'm so grateful that I can call them every day. And then from 8 to 8:30, that's when I do my nighttime routine. That's when I brush my teeth. I do my supplements. I do my hair care. I do skincare if that's what I want to do. Usually I do skincare in the shower, but that's what I do. That's my time. I'll see if I can block it out on the side right here. I'll have like a block of just showing you what my schedule is like. And then from 8:30 to 9 o'clock, I usually sit in that bed. That's why you can see two pillows on one side and no pillows on this side. The reason that's the case is because I like sit in my bed and I read, or I sit in my bed and I meditate in the morning, or I meditate at night now actually too as well. But I like sit there, and that's why I sit there. I read one of those books. I have a Kindle now, so I didn't bring as many books as I had last time. If you noticed, last semester my videos had a lot more books on them on my bed. I took a lot of them home because I finished a lot of them. But now I have a Kindle, so I have a couple books I'm reading as well as a Kindle that I can use to read my book. I'm really enjoying Lord of the Rings right now. Meditations by Marcus Aurelius is so amazing. He's a great Stoic. I'm a huge proponent of the Stoic mindset. And then around 9 o'clock, after I finish reading, sometimes I go a little over because I like reading, and then I'll meditate for about 10 minutes. I have an app on my phone that I meditate with, and then I go to bed, and then I wake up 5:30 to 6:30, maybe 7 if it's late. Someday, like I said, some days I'm not perfect. I'll wake up. Oh, sorry, I gotta cut that out. I'll wake up at 10 a.m., 11 a.m. That's just how it happens sometimes. But most of the time when I'm on my grind, this is when I wake up. I hope you enjoyed the video. This video is dragging out a little long. It's definitely going a little long. But I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something. I hope you put some of these things into practice. So a lot of the stuff that I'm saying, that I mentioned, is kind of backed by research, backed by science. So I hope that you take this for what it is and you implement it in your own life however you can, because I think that would be really good for you, for your mental health, for your studies, for your performance, for everything. Because a lot of stuff will integrate into your whole life. Anyway, my name is Rohan. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, stay calm, cool, and collected at all times. And I will catch you, my friend, in another video. Thank you for watching. Click here for another video. Whatever. Do all that jazz. Like, subscribe. I never tell you guys like, subscribe. Like and subscribe. If you like the video. Thank you for watching again. Peace out.